The Krel Dominion, an empire spanning hundreds of star systems, had ruled the galaxy unchallenged for centuries. Their fleets were vast, their technology superior, and their military might unmatched. When their expansion finally reached the Sol system, the Krel expected the same outcome they had seen countless times before: swift subjugation of a lesser species. Earth's transmission was a simple message: do not advance further. The Krel Council laughed. No species had ever resisted them successfully, let alone one as insignificant as humanity. A fleet of Krel warships was dispatched to Earth, a fleet capable of reducing planets to cinders. As the fleet approached, Earth remained silent. No ships were launched to intercept the Krel armada, no defenses activated. The humans appeared to be surrendering without a fight. But then, without warning, a single human vessel appeared on their scanners. It wasn't an armada or a fleet, just one ship. At first, the Krel commanders were confused. The ship was small, a fraction of the size of their destroyers, with none of the energy signatures that marked advanced weaponry. The Krel's confidence turned to amusement. Surely this was a final act of desperation from a doomed species. The Krel commander opened a channel. Human vessel, your bravery is noted. Surrender now, and your species will be spared unnecessary suffering. The human captain's response was calm and chilling. This is your last chance to turn back. The Krel commander barked a laugh and ordered his fleet to fire. Energy beams capable of splitting moons lit up the void, converging on the lone human ship. But before they could strike, the human vessel vanished from their targeting systems. Impossible, a Krel officer muttered. The ship hadn't been destroyed, it had simply disappeared. Moments later, the Krel flagship sensors detected the human vessel behind them. The ship's energy readings spiked, and before the Krel fleet could react, a single, concentrated beam of light erupted from the human ship. It wasn't an ordinary weapon. It was something else entirely. The beam passed through the Krel flagship shields as if they didn't exist, slicing the colossal vessel in half. Panic rippled through the fleet as the human ship continued its assault. It moved faster than any Krel ship could track, appearing and disappearing like a phantom. Each time it reappeared, another Krel warship was obliterated. The humans hadn't just built a weapon. They had built something the Krel couldn't comprehend. The Krel's advanced tactics, refined over centuries of conquest, were useless. Their weapons, designed to counter entire armadas, were powerless against a single ship. One by one, the Krel warships fell, their debris scattered across the void. The human captain opened a channel again. Leave now, and you'll live to warn the others. Stay, and you won't. The Krel commander, now trembling with fear, ordered a retreat. What remained of the once mighty fleet fled back to Dominion space. For the first time in their history, the Krel had been utterly defeated, not by a fleet, but by a single human vessel. News of the defeat spread quickly. The galaxy, long dominated by the Krel, was stunned. A species they had deemed primitive had achieved the impossible. The Krel's aura of invincibility was shattered, and with it, the balance of power in the galaxy began to shift. Humanity's message was clear. They were not to be underestimated. One ship had been enough. The Krel Dominion's retreat left a silence in its wake, one that rippled across the galaxy. For centuries, their rule had been unchallenged, their might absolute. But now, their shattered fleet and fearful whispers of the humans' mysterious power began circulating through every star system. Species once crushed under the Krel's heel began to stir with hope, looking toward Earth as a beacon of resistance. On Earth, the human population was both exhilarated and apprehensive. The victory over the Krel was celebrated, but it was a sobering reminder of the stakes involved in galactic contact. The human ship that had single-handedly defeated the Krel returned to its base in orbit, shrouded in secrecy. The vessel, known only as the Atlas Asterisk, was the culmination of a project so classified that even most Earth governments had been unaware of its existence. The technology behind the Atlas Asterisk wasn't just human ingenuity. It was a product of desperate survival and a willingness to think beyond conventional limits. While humanity had lagged behind in energy weapons, faster-than-light travel, and shield technologies, they had compensated with an unparalleled understanding of adaptability and efficiency. The Atlas utilized an array of experimental systems, quantum displacement drives, field manipulation weaponry, and AI-guided tactics that could outthink even the most advanced alien fleets. Meanwhile, in the Krel Homeworld's Council chamber, a meeting of the highest-ranking officials convened. The Krel Supreme Commander slammed a fist onto the obsidian table, his mandibles clicking in frustration. They are an anomaly. One ship cannot hold an entire empire at bay. We will overwhelm them with numbers. A scientist in the chamber hesitated before responding. Supreme Commander, the humans' technology, it defies our understanding. They do not fight as we do. If we send a larger fleet, we risk exposing more of our vulnerabilities. Another voice, deep and contemplative, spoke from the shadows. The humans are not like us, nor like any species we've conquered. They are unpredictable, yes, but there is something deeper. Their resilience, their ability to adapt under pressure. It is unlike anything we have encountered. We must proceed carefully. While the Krel debated their next move, humanity didn't rest. They knew the Krel would return, likely with greater force. Global cooperation reached unprecedented levels as nations pooled resources and expertise to bolster Earth's defenses. The Atlas project was expanded, and a new fleet of ships began construction, each incorporating lessons learned from the Krel encounter. But humanity wasn't just preparing for war. They also sent diplomatic envoys to other oppressed species, forging alliances and sharing knowledge. The Krel's domination had been built on fear and isolation, but the humans understood the power of unity. One by one, alien races began to rally around Earth, inspired by the idea that the galaxy's most primitive species had dared to stand up to its greatest empire. Months later, the Krel returned, not with a fleet but with a single envoy ship. It arrived in Earth's orbit, broadcasting a simple message, **, we wish to speak, ***. The human response was swift but measured. A meeting was arranged aboard the Atlas**, where human leaders and the Krel envoy face each other for the first time since the battle. The Krel representative, a towering figure clad in ceremonial armor, regarded the humans with a mix of caution and respect. You have demonstrated strength, the envoy began. But strength alone does not win wars. Why do you fight when defeat is inevitable? A human diplomat leaned forward, her expression resolute. We don't fight because we think we'll win. We fight because it's right. Because no species should live under the tyranny of another. Your empire thrives on fear, but fear is a fragile foundation. The envoy's gaze shifted to the human captain of the Atlas*, who had remained silent until now. And you, Captain, what drives you to defy an empire that spans the stars? The captain's voice was calm but carried the weight of conviction. You misunderstand us. This isn't just about survival or defiance. It's about proving that even the smallest flame can light a fire big enough to burn the darkest shadow. You called us primitive, but we understand something your empire has forgotten. Freedom is worth any cost. The envoy was silent for a long moment before rising. We will convey your words to the council. But know this, your defiance has set events in motion that cannot be undone. The galaxy watches, and not all eyes are friendly. As the Krel ship departed, the humans knew they had only bought time. The war was far from over, but they had already achieved something unprecedented. They had changed the narrative. No longer were humans seen as insignificant newcomers to the galaxy. They were a force to be reckoned with, a species willing to fight, not for conquest or power, but for a future where no one lived in fear. The galaxy held its breath, awaiting the next chapter in a conflict that would reshape the stars. And at the heart of it all, humanity stood ready, unyielding, a single ship having lit the spark of a revolution. The Krell's warning left an indelible mark on humanity, but it only strengthened Earth's resolve. While the galaxy watched and whispered, humanity continued to innovate, prepare, and reach out to other oppressed species. Across the stars, stories spread of humans offering aid where none dared to tread, standing firm against Krell's strongholds to liberate enslaved worlds. They had become a symbol of resistance, of defiance against impossible odds. The Krel Dominion, meanwhile, grappled with an unfamiliar emotion, doubt. For centuries, their power had been absolute, their rule unchallenged. But the humans had exposed their vulnerability, not with superior numbers or ancient weapons, but with courage, cunning, and unity. For the first time, cracks began to form in the Dominion's iron grip as even their own allies questioned their dominance. Months turned into years, and the conflict grew beyond humanity's wildest expectations. Battles erupted across the galaxy, with humans and their allies pushing back against the Krell. The tide of war began to shift, and humanity's role as a leading force of the resistance became undeniable. On the Krell homeworld, the Supreme Commander called an emergency council. "They are destabilizing our empire," he growled, his mandibles clicking in agitation. "The humans cannot be allowed to spread their influence further." A high-ranking strategist spoke up. "We underestimated them once. If we are to crush them, we must understand them. Their technology, their tactics, their spirit." A softer voice interrupted. It belonged to the scientist who had warned of humanity's unpredictability. "You focus on their weapons, but it is their spirit that makes them dangerous. The humans are willing to fight for ideals that transcend their survival. How do you fight an enemy that believes in something greater than themselves?" The room fell silent. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity faced its own challenges. The war had unified the planet like never before, but it also strained resources, pushed technological limits, and tested their very humanity. Could they maintain their ideals in the face of such relentless conflict? Could they resist the temptation to become the very thing they fought against? The Atlas and its growing fleet remained at the heart of humanity's efforts, a shining example of what could be achieved when desperation and ingenuity combined. But even as humanity celebrated its victories, its leaders knew that the war was far from over. The Krell would not stop until they either reclaimed their dominance or fell completely. Then came the day that changed everything. A massive Krell fleet, larger than anything humanity or its allies had ever faced, emerged from hyperspace on the edge of human territory. It was a show of force meant to end the war in one decisive blow. The human response was swift. Fleets mobilized, alliances called upon their commitments, and the galaxy braced for the largest battle in recorded history. As the fleets converged, a broadcast was sent from the Krell flagship. "We offer you one chance to surrender," the Krell commander announced. "Submit, and we will allow your species to survive as subjects of the Dominion. Resist, and you will be annihilated." The response came not from Earth's leaders, but from the captain of the Atlas. Her voice was calm and resolute as she addressed the galaxy. "To the Krel Dominion, you misunderstand us, as you always have. We are not fighting for survival. We are fighting for freedom, for our allies, for the countless lives you have trampled underfoot. You may destroy us, but you will never break us. Because no matter what happens here today, humanity has already proven that your reign of fear is over." The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. The Krell's overwhelming numbers were met with human ingenuity and the determination of dozens of allied species. The Atlas, once a symbol of humanity's defiance, became the spearhead of the resistance, its advanced technology and fearless crew pushing the limits of possibility. When the dust settled, the Krell fleet had been broken. The cost was immense, but the message was clear. The Dominion's time was over. The galaxy would no longer live in fear. In the aftermath, humanity did not claim dominance or demand tribute. Instead, they worked to rebuild, to support their allies, and to ensure that no empire would ever rise to oppress the galaxy again. The humans, once dismissed as a minor, primitive species, had reshaped the stars. not through conquest, but through courage and conviction. The Krel Dominion's fall sparked an age of unprecedented collaboration across the galaxy. Formerly enslaved or subjugated species began to rebuild their worlds, drawing upon human technology and ingenuity to restore what had been lost. Humanity's actions set a precedent. No species had the right to dominate another. Earth, too, underwent profound change. The war against the Krell had unified the planet like never before. Old divisions dissolved as humanity channeled its efforts into maintaining alliances and ensuring peace across the stars. The scars of war remained, but they served as reminders of what could be accomplished when the human spirit was tested. The Atlas became a symbol of hope, its name etched into the annals of galactic history. Captains who served aboard her were regarded as legends, and her crew, a mix of humans and alien allies, became ambassadors of unity. Together, they traveled the galaxy, not as conquerors but as explorers and diplomats, forging bonds between species that had once been isolated or hostile. The Krell, reduced to scattered remnants, retreated into the shadows. Some of their kind sought redemption, while others plotted revenge. But the galaxy had changed, and their old tactics of fear and subjugation no longer held sway. Where once they had ruled with an iron grip, now they were hunted, their power shattered. As humanity and its allies turned toward the future, they remembered the lessons of the war. Technology alone was not the answer. It was the will to stand against tyranny, the courage to protect the vulnerable, and the belief in something greater than oneself that had carried them to victory. In time, the Atlas faded from active duty, replaced by newer ships built on its legacy, but it remained a cherished artifact, a reminder of the moment when humanity proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a single ship, a single crew, and a single unyielding spirit could change the fate of the galaxy forever. Generations later, as children across countless worlds heard the stories of the Krell War, one phrase became synonymous with humanity's triumph. Asterisk, one human ship was enough. Asterisk, it was a testament not to power, but to resilience, and a promise that no matter the challenge, the human spirit would endure.